Welcome back on a Monday evening to the Dirt Racing Network, the Digital Sim Sports Network, and our live coverage of the Dirt Slingers Racing League Monday Night Thunder. Midwest Barbecue Equipment 360 Wing Sprint Car Series closing out the night with speed. And I feel like I have been at Charlotte Dirt Track for at least a week. This is 4 nights in a row. 360 Wing Sprint Car action from here. American Dirt Series closed out their season at this track Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and here we are coming back again. This time, round number 3 for this bunch right here, and 27 drivers have made their way to the racetrack this evening. Only 22 of them will get to compete in tonight's 30-lap A main. So we'll have heat race action, a couple of B mains, and we will get right to it. Mr. Tim, I sure do wish you'd have jumped in there. And you know what? Sometimes you just got to say F it and do something. Whether you think you're great or not, you just got to get in there and you got to do it because, you know, it's there to do. Some of the greatest things in the world were created by people just doing it because it was there to do. I got to send a message to my admins. About 15 seconds left in that warm-up session, and then no qualifying. These guys random pill draw for their heat race starting position. Top 4 in each heat race automatically make it into the A main, and then we'll fill in the remaining spots from the 2 B mains. So you're going to be looking at something like maybe 10. Will be somewhere in the neighborhood. We're looking for 5 from each, probably. So let's see how it plays out. Take 12, lead 15. Yeah, I think that's probably about how it's going to go. Let's check it out and see how the starting lineup is going to look. For heat race number 1, it's going to be Thaddeus Marshall, the 83 car on the pole, and Preston Cottrell. I saw Cottrell in the chat. He says he's a J.P. Scheiderer fan. Yeah, I don't really know how to respond to that when one driver's a big fan of the other. I want to beat every driver on the track. I don't care who they are. Jacob Boxell in his debut in the series will start inside row number 2 in the 44 next to the 32 of Anthony Morano. We just saw Morano have a great finish in the Big Blocks Modified Series a little bit ago. 33 of Ashton Mueller, row 3 to the inside next to the Kiwi Conqueror in the 7, Craig Silby. And then Nick Nicodemus in the 10 car. Inside of row number 4 next to Jacob Schmutz in the 1J. And Dean Reynolds. And, oh, you know what we got to do? We got to do our obligatory Dean Reynolds viewing. And let's see what he's running tonight. I have no idea whose car that is. He's going to have to tell me, and I did not get a PM from him to tell me. It almost looks like an old Sammy Swindell. Sammy was famous for that engine turn gold leaf pattern on cars. He made that shit famous. So, all right, the 7P and the 83 on our front row ready for heat number 1 to get started. Looks like we will have 3 heats, so we will lock 12 cars in. We'll look for 5 from each of the 2 B mains. Get our 22-car starting field for the 30-lap A main tonight. Round number 3. 10 races in the season. They alternate back and forth with the 410 series week over week, and they have 1 drop week for the whole season. So, 9 races count. Here we go. Green flag in the air.
Green flag.
Good start up front. Big bomb coming from the 44 of Boxell. He didn't get it in there. Didn't get it to stick when he did throw it in there. He's going to fall back to the 4th spot. Marshall, Cottrell, Mueller, Boxel, and then Morano in fifth. We're watching the leader. Mueller in the 33 up top. Now slides back to third, right behind Cottrell, who got a great run out of turn number 2. They're 3 wide. Mueller on the bottom. Morano went through the middle. Boxel was up top. Now he swaps and gets behind Mueller. Really good racing already. And this is the first heat race. These guys are setting the bar awful high for the rest of the night. Top 5, single file. Jacob Schmutz in 6, a little ways back. Dean Reynolds is behind that for whatever reason. Sylvia and Nicodemus are already pit side. I think we're about to see another one. I think we're about to see Dean Reynolds. He's missing a front. We must have had contact between a bunch of cars, and Reynolds is just out there trying to make sure that he is going to get a little better starting spot in his B main. He's keeping it locked down to the bottom, trying to stay out of everybody's way and just make as many laps as he can. Marshall, 0.4 of a second out in front. Everybody kind of close to the top. Mueller's reeling in Cottrell. Throws the slider there, and it didn't work out for him in 1 and 2. Cottrell will go right back by. This time Cottrell up high at the very end of the corner. These two in a slider battle in the heat race coming to the white flag. Marshall out in front. He's going to lock himself into the A main. Who's going with him? It looks like Mueller will be second. Cottrell and Morano will take those 4 transfer spots. Boxel, Schmutz, Reynolds, Silby, and Nicodemus. Well, we'll see them a little bit later in one of our 2 B mains. First heat race in the books, and we'll move on to the starting grid for heat race number 2, and it's going to be the 22 of Mason Hannigan, the Little Hurricane, on the pole, and he'll have the 38 of Brett Strickler on his outside. Carson Smith, the 488, row 2, he's got inside starting duty, and he's got the 3 of Jay Schaff on his outside. You'll see the 62 of Rory Collins inside row number 3 next to the 32 of Tom Ostendorf. And then Alex Straczynski in the 23, Matt Grimm in the 91, making up a row number 4. And our 5th row all by himself, our 9th and final starter in heat number 2, the 11 of Richie Gaines. Hannigan and Strickler on the front row, and that's a pretty doggone good front row for any race, feature or heat. Brett Strickler makes random appearances in the series, and when he does, he usually shows out pretty well. Always fast. He is trying to see what kind of moisture is right up there in that fluffy stuff. Settle back in, let the field catch up to him, get himself back in his row. They'll let that pace truck get out of the way right about the middle of the backstretch. And then Hannigan, Strickler will bring us to the green out of turn number 4. We've already locked 4 in. We'll get 4 more right here for our A main. Pill draw, very good to the Little Hurricane. If you watched us on Friday night, I believe he reminded us that when he is poor at his job, he is merely a tropical depression. Whoa, a little too close for comfort. And a weird start. I think a bunch of guys are probably going to grab some black flags off that deal, but Strickler and Hannigan touch tires right at the start of this thing, and that's going to let Hannigan get way out in front. And caution. And they are going to be beaten and a banging. Don't know what the caution came from. Maybe because of the bad start. I'm not really sure. We may lose a couple of cars because of this. Where is Travis? If we go back and we watch this, you can see they're very close together. And the right front of Hannigan was in between, almost on the nerve bar of the 38. And when they got the green flag, a little hippity hop over a tire. I don't see anything at all back here for a caution. Everybody just kind of rolling in and out of the throttle when the caution lights came on, and we had a whole lot of contact. Got cars with no front wings now. We got one that went in. Tom Ostendorf, I think, went in the pits. I think his car was heavily damaged. 62 of Rory Collins is missing his front wing. That would definitely make the race car super tight. We're still going to have at least 7 laps to go. Preston, do you know where Travis is? Why we haven't seen him on the first show on the big blocks? I know he said he was taking a break a while back, but then I heard he was about to return, and I have not seen him since I heard that announcement. All right, we're going to try this one single file with Hannigan, Strickler, and Smith, 1, 2, 3. Then Schaff is 4th right now. A little cleaner start. That ticker will catch up. The caution, oh my, we got a big one at the back. Rory Collins and Matt Grimm getting into it. So far, no caution. They're both going to drive one to the infield, and I don't know where Grimm went. Matt Grimm going to come around. He's going to be pretty tardy to the party. Quite a ways off of the field, but Hannigan now has it out front. Strickler, Schaff, Straczynski, Smith, Gaines, Grimm, with Ostendorf off. Collins will be in front of that in 8th. Mason Hannigan making it look pretty simple. Straczynski's got a challenge, 488 car of Carson Smith right alongside. Straczynski with a bobble out of 2, but keeps the spot. Hannigan clear by a second. Strickler clear by about, a full second over 3rd place Schaff. And Straczynski right there in the 23 has got the final lock-in spot out of this heat. Richie Gaines not content to just sit there and let him have it either. Gaines on a roll. Gets a good run out of 2. Throws the slider in 3 and 4. Straczynski's going to cross him over, coming to the white flag. The battle for the final transfer spot will be right there. It's going to be Hannigan, Strickler, and Schaff, 1, 2, 3. And it looks like Straczynski able to clear Gaines, and he'll take that spot, go straight to the A main. Gaines, Smith, Grimm, Collins, and Ostendorf will all be in B mains. So heat 2 already done. We're going to move on to our final heat race. And we're going to start them like this. It's going to be the Flying Buckeye, Matt Westfall in the 54 on the pole. And the 5 car of J.P. Scheider will start alongside. The 73, Larry Moody. The 21, Garrett Boyd in row number 2. The Dakota Kuhn in the 95. Next to Doc Watson in the 66 in row number 3. Your defending series champion and the American Dirt Series defending series champion, the 90 car of Trevor Royer. Row 4, next to the 118 of Scott King, and then Scott Thomason in the 06 car, Scotty T, Outback Jack. You could be out there too, sir. I'm just saying. All right, ready to go green this time. That pace truck is going to get out of our way, and we're going to get our final heat race of the evening. Lock our last 4 cars in to make it 12. All ready, feature prepared. And then we'll look for 10 more out of our 2 heat races. There'll be 15 cars running in those 2 heat races, 5 from each. It'll be an 8-car and a 7-car field, and 5 from each one of those will transfer in. The green flag in the air. Westfall to the point. Scheider going to go wide. Try to get the momentum going. I thought I'd see a slider, but I did not at that point. Westfall, Scheider, Moody the top three. Kuhn is fourth. Trevor Royer already up to the fifth spot looking for a transfer. Big wreck down the backstretch. Caution. Well, that's fine. A little drone cami action, and let's go see what happens. Royer and Boyd are side by side. They're right behind Dakota Kuhn, and a little tap there. Kuhn got a little out of shape. Boyd got in the back of him, and the remaining cars in the field, all 6 of them involved in that incident, and Trevor Royer will go to a backup car, and he'll start in the B main and try to make his way through and into tonight's feature. He has got an uphill battle the rest of this evening. But it's Westfall and Scheider, then Moody, then Scott Thomason, who somehow escaped most of that shenanigans back there. He jumps up to fourth. Tiny Dancer, Scott King, Doc Watson. There were 6 cars remaining on the track. Kuhn, Royer, and Boyd are all in the pits, and they will be done for the heat race, I am sure. And now Thomason and King swap spots. So put Scott King, the Bubble Boy, right now. He's the Tiny Dancer and the Bubble Boy. And I finally see Deb King's name in my chat. Welcome. All right, lights are off on the pace truck. We're going to get that thing out of the way right here on the backstretch. We'll have 5 laps remaining. Final heat race. Top 4 automatically transfer to the A main. Everybody else is going to come in and run a B main tonight. We'll take 5 out of each one of those 2 B mains and put them in with that top 12. We'll have our 22 cars. Green flag back in the air. Westfall out front. Wheel car got out of shape going through turn 2 right there. It's going to let Scheider run right back up to the push bar. But then a good run through 3 and 4, and Westfall opens it right back up. Scheider is still second. Moody is still third, and now Scott King around the high side working on the Tiny Dancer. Scott King, and he's going to get that 4th and final transfer spot away from the 118. I thought we were going to see a slider, and it didn't come through for him. We're coming around to 3 to go. Watching our Bubble Boy right now. Scott King. Scott tried to go there. He tried to get around Thomason right there. And Scott King not giving up on that transfer spot. Just not able to get close enough to make it happen. Westfall's got it in hand easy. He's coming around to the white flag, and he's about 8 car lengths out in front of Scheider. Moody solidly in third, looking for a transfer spot tonight. So 9, 10, 11, and 12 will be JP Scheider with a big slider at the end. Wins heat 3. He transfers in. Westfall goes with him. Moody and Thomason hangs on for that 4th and final spot. King, Watson, Kuhn, Royer, and Boyd will be in one of our 2B mains. They'll be coming up next. We'll get ready for B main number 1. 7 cars scheduled to be in it. Boxell and King will be the front row. Smith and Reynolds in row 2. Kuhn and Collins in row 3. And Nicodemus will have his spot on the back. 5 of them will transfer. Into tonight's A main. Scotty King looking for his fuel calculations and going to put enough fuel to make it. There is Mr. Reynolds. Mr. Kuhn back over there in that white car with the turquoise trim. Then Rory Collins on the outside and Mr. Nicodemus on the back with that American flag on the wing. And I got to give that a little bit of a salute. I like it. Can't read the number on it, but I do like the flag on the wing. 7 cars. They're looking for 5 transfer spots. Track still looks very racy all the way from the bottom to the top. B-Main number 1 about to get underway. Round number 3. Midwest Barbecue Equipment. 360 Wing Sprint Cars. Dirt Slingers Racing League Monday Night Thunder. 2 drivers going home out of this one. Boxel. A little bit of a wonky start, but he's going to get clear. Carson Smith got a perfect start with him, and he'll jump all the way to second. King will hang on to third. Kuhn is up to fourth. Reynolds is fifth. Nicodemus and Collins battling 6 and 7 back there. They're the 2 guys on the outside looking in. Dean Reynolds alongside now. Just noses ahead of Dakota Kuhn, getting into 3 and 4. Scott King going for the lead around Boxel, and he'll have it. Top 5 getting away from the back 2. Kuhn had a run down the hill, had to check it up as he wasn't quite going to clear Dean Reynolds right there. Reynolds now up to third. Got around Carson Smith, got around Dakota Kuhn, closing in on Jacob Boxel, and he'll clear him down here in 3 and 4. And Dean Reynolds up to second. He's got to make up a second on the Tiny Dancer, Scott King. Let's go back and check Dakota Kuhn side by side with Carson Smith, and now Smith, the car sitting on the bubble. Rory Collins, not far off, has distanced himself from Nicodemus, and he is trying to reel in that 488, and he wants the transfer spot. Got some work to do, needs to make up about a half a second. Going to be down to 5 to go this time. And King is already into 3 and 4. Reynolds is closing the gap. He's got it down to half a second with 5 to go. Top 5 look fairly comfortable at the moment, but Collins is really getting close. He let Smith know he was there in 1 and 2. Now right on the bottom of 3 and 4. He's alongside. The battle will be for the bubble spot. A little slip on the exit of turn 2. Let Smith keep it for now. .488. Last car to lock. Oh, puts it into the fence just a tiny bit. Didn't seem to slow him down enough. Collins really had to pedal the car around the bottom. It's that tiny bump to the outside wall. Oh, and Scott King crashes on the white flag lap. Dean Reynolds will win and go to the A main. Scott King did himself in out of turn number 2, and it shakes everything up. Reynolds goes, Boxel goes, Kuhn goes, Collins is going to go, and Nicodemus is going to go because Carson Smith caught a piece of the 118 down the backstretch on the white flag lap. So from hero to zero, Tiny Dancer steps all over his tutu, and now he'll be watching from the booth. Wow. That was not good. Let's see if we can see what happened. Oh, it's not going to give us time to look at it. I was going to go look. Wow. Well, we'll get ready for our final B-main. It'll be Richie Gaines and Jacob Schmutz on the front row. Watson and Grimm making up row 2. Sylvie and Roy are there. A couple of big heavy hitters right there in the third row. And then Ostendorf and Boyd on the back of this one. Again, we will look for 5 spots to transfer through. All the drivers rolling them off. And your defending series champion outside the third row got to pick up a one spot for sure. He probably wants to pick up the 4 in front of him, but he needs to get solidly into the field and see if he can make a run from the back of this thing in the AMA. We watched him do it on Friday night when he picked up the win at American Dirt Series on their first night of the 3-night finale over there. He started about 16th in that race, and the last 8 laps, one of the better slider battles I've seen in a long time, and he ended up picking up the win. So plenty capable of getting to the front from just about anywhere. But we're going to see Gaines and Schmutz get us going here. Just waiting for him to get to the designated starting zone. Gaines gets there, finds the throttle, and we're underway. Final 5 transfer spots on the line right here. A little bobble out of Schmutz in 1 and 2. Grimm tried to drop to the bottom. Silby was already there. Royer up to 3rd and looking for more out of turn number 4. Put him 2nd in behind Gaines. I thought he was going to go for the lead right there, and the hole closed up. Now there's contact between Royer and Schmutz. They get away from it. Schmutz, little wide on the exit there. Not a lot of room. I'll tell you what, Trevor Royer is going to make a run right here. Yeah, I thought that was what was going to happen. He got tired of getting the big run through turns 1 and 2, and he just throws the slider on. Gaines goes right around. Schmutz is still 3rd, but you can see there are 5 cars right here battling for those final 3 spots. Schmutz, Watson, Boyd, Silby, Grimm, all in this thing at the moment. 3 wide for the 4th position right there. Royer, Gaines, and Watson had top 3. Now Silby gets out of that centerpiece, flies around Watson, put him 3rd. He's in a transfer spot. Watson 4th, and Grimm is 5th. Schmutz all the way back to 7th. Matt Grimm up to the 4th spot. That puts the 66 of Watson on the hot seat right now. He's got pressure. Company right beside now, just a little bit ahead. He goes a full car length ahead. Garrett Boyd into the transfer position. Oh, Watson and Schmutz, and now no caution. Everybody going to get them straightened up. Woo-wee. That got wild for a minute. Everybody can breathe a little easier now, but Trevor Royer yarding the field. He's coming to 3 to go already. Not like the guy doesn't have a ton. Oh, hard into the fence right there. Not like he didn't have a ton of practice in the last 3 nights prior to tonight at this track. Conditions maybe a little bit worse. This track looks like it's in a lot better condition than it was Friday night. Definitely better than Saturday and Sunday. Royer doing what Royer does. Goes up, rides the rim, white flag, and he's out by over 2 seconds right here. Gaines is 2nd, Silby is 3rd. Grimm is a comfortable 4th. Garrett Boyd in the show if he just gets it to the finish line. Isidore, Schmutz, and Watson will be out of this one. Boyd wanted to go for the 4th spot, and he couldn't quite get there. Royer, Gaines, Silby, Grimm, and Boyd will be in the outside of the last 5 rows of tonight's 30-lap A main. Everybody else is finished for the evening, and we have seen some really good racing tonight. 30 laps for that A main, and the expectation is high. See who is around. Not a lot of guys around. So we may not get to talk to too many of them. What we will do is we'll set this so we can kind of watch them work. You can see where the track is starting to change a little right through the middle at both ends. The dark stuff up top, that's still wet dirt. Right along the inside, there's a ring of it as well. And we'll see guys in both lanes probably this whole feature. Short warm-up session. Just got the message. And it'll be time for 30 laps of absolute lightning and thunder mayhem. Guys, don't forget to tune in tomorrow night. Epic Racing Association. Late model stock cars on the pavement. TJ, where you been, man? I've been itching to see you get that 25 car back on the track for the big blocks. Kind of disappointed that I haven't seen it thus far. Yeah, don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for ERA. Thursday, still up in the air just a little bit as to what we're going to do. Then Friday and Saturday, Tim Sims, Hillbilly High Banks, General Tires, Winter Nationals. 4 different races over the 2 nights. Going to be awesome. All washed up my left foot and in between my toes. So I don't believe you for 2 seconds, sir. Sorry, but I'm calling you right out. Let's check out the starting lineup for tonight's 30-lap A-Main. It's going to be the 83 of Thaddeus Marshall on the front row with the 22 of the Little Hurricane, Mason Hannigan. The 5 of J.P. Scheider, the 33 of Ashton Mealer in row number 2. 38, Strickler. 54, Westfall. Flying Buckeye outside the 3rd row. Good starting position for him tonight. Preston Cottrell, the 07, Jay Schaff, the 3 car, making up row 4. Your 5th row, the 73, Larry Moody. Inside, Anthony Morano in the 32 on the outside of that row. And then row 6 is the 23, Alex Jasinski. Inside, Scott Thomas and Scotty T in the 6 car on the outside of that row. We will move back to row number 7 and see the 79 of Dean Reynolds inside and Trevor Royer in the 90. These guys winning their B-mains and moving into tonight's feature. Then Boxell and Gaines, the 44 and 11 in row number 8. Row 9 is the 95 of Kuhn and the 7 of the Kiwi Conqueror, Craig Silby. Then Roy Collins in the 62, the 91 of Matt Grimm in the 10th row. And the 11th and final row, Nick Nicodemus in the 10 alongside the 21 of Garrett Boyd. All 22 starters made the call. 30 green flag laps, and you can see this this track still has a lot of moisture. Should be able to race just about anywhere, at least for the time being. We will definitely see the top start to become a little more dominant. I think when we get to about 8, maybe a little less to go, somebody may make a move on the bottom, as it may come back, especially the exit of turn 2, to make up some ground and maybe try to steal a win here tonight, round number 3. But it's time for the Thunder and the Lightning at Dirt Slingers Racing League. The green flag comes out. We're underway for 30. Hannigan around the top. Marshall went through the middle, exited on the bottom. He's got the lead going into 3 and 4. Scheider thought about the big, long, low slider. Had to check the car down. And Marshall leads lap number 1. Hannigan, Scheider, Mealer, Cottrell through the top 5 right now. It is a mess behind that. Trevor Royer up top, already making up spots. He's broken into the top 11. He is almost into the top 10. He's going to have to deal with the 54 of Matt Westfall. And he goes right to the high side, and there he goes. Now he's inside the top 10. We'll look a little further back. That yellow car, Craig Silby, trying to work wider and wider. There's a fence up there, and he and Dakota Kuhn are going to have a moment. And they're going to tumble down the front stretch. We don't have a caution. It's at the back. Lap number 4. They do that a little early. There goes Silby to the infield. We'll stay green. Hannigan has the lead. Marshall second. Scheider shown in third, but Strickler's down on the bottom, and he's making a race out of it for that podium spot. Trevor Royer once again up to the top. Caution for the first time. Anthony Morano, and I think Morano had a little piece of something a little early in this one. Whoa, that's not the one. That's the one. He's about 12th. Oh, he got a little help. Got a little help out of the 54, and then the 23 gets a piece of it. Yeah, that was not what I expected. We got a lot of guys off the track right now. Scott Thomas, Dean Reynolds, Nick Nicodemus, Matt Grimm, Matt Westfall, Alex Jasinski, Dakota Kuhn, Craig Silby, all in the pits at the moment. But it's Hannigan, Marshall, Strickler, Scheider, Mealer, Schaff, Cottrell, Moody, Royer, and Gaines, the top 10 at the moment. Looks to me like the 32 of Morano coming out of that work area, and he is going to rejoin the field. He'll be 19th. Well, no, he won't. He'll probably be about 16th. Once these all kind of shuffle and get down through, I see the 91 of Matt Grimm maybe making his way back onto the racing surface. Everybody's still currently on the lead lap. We're single filed up. It looks like we're going to try to go green this time out of turn number 4. Wide, slow, easy pace, and now he'll jump on the loud pedal, and the Hannigan once again rockets away out to the front. Big battle behind Strickler and Marshall were going at it, and Strickler got the better of it down the backstretch. 83 car stuck in the middle right now. I'm not sure that's where you want to be. Scheider looking high. Mealer was looking low. 83 able to fend him off. He's got a pretty good setup to run right through that slick stuff right now. Battle at the front. Strickler has reeled in your leader. He is right around the tires at the bottom, and he surges ahead entering turn 3. Will he have it coming out of 4? Strickler to the point. First time we've had a new leader. Brett Strickler. Caution behind Lee 73 car. Larry Moody looks like he is going to have some kind of issue. He and Richie Gaines are really close together right there. Oh, he come off a little, tried to come down. Car coming up quickly. So we'll slow things down just a little bit. I'm looking for the car that got a piece of that. Might have been Cottrell. Yeah, it was. It's Preston Cottrell. Got a little piece of that. I think Moody was trying to stay off the car to the right, come down a little, and Cottrell was just coming off the corner trying to use as much racetrack as he could. And the two came together. So Strickler, Hannigan, Scheider, Marshall, Mealer, Schaff, Royer, Gaines, and Boxell. The top 10 right now. And I told you guys, you got to watch the 90 car. He's already up to about 8th position. There's still 20 laps to go in this thing. So it looks like we're single file. Pace truck looks to be headed to the infield. We're going to get a restart. Strickler was on the bottom. We'll see if he goes right back to it on this restart. Strickler, real life racer out in Pennsylvania. Part-time racer at Dirt Slingers, and like I said before, when he shows up, a lot of times he shows right out, and he gets a fantastic restart. He is going to clear these guys by half a second. The battle will be for second. Hannigan and Scheider are going at it. Scheider had it at the line that time. He's going all the way to the top. A lot of momentum in the 5 car, and he's reeling in the leader already. He has cut 0.2 of a second off in 2 laps. Strickler may have to abandon that bottom side. Hannigan still third. Royer was in fourth for a moment. He got around Mueller, but Mueller took the spot back. He's up to fifth. Mueller is fourth. Then Marshall Schaff gains behind that. Boxell and Boyd in the top 10 now. We're coming up on halfway. J.P. Scheider to the point on the top side of 3 and 4, and we got another new leader. 5 car, J.P. Scheider out front. Now Strickler moves to the top side in front of Hannigan, and Hannigan going to use that cut down line in turn 2, and he'll go right by and take second away. Royer is up to fourth, and who is closing on a podium? The 90 car. Around the top side, he and Strickler almost come together. Royer will go down low. Slider coming from the 90. Move him into the top 3. Hannigan, little aggressive into the fence, cuts the car right back down. He'll keep second. We're watching that battle for third right now. Now Royer clears Strickler. Here comes Mueller closing in on the 38 as well. Fastest car on the track out in front. Last time by 14.59. It's a 70. And then, quickest car on the track, the 90. He ran about a half a tenth quicker than your leader. 11 laps to go as we're into lap traffic. Caution. 44 car. Maybe not. Might be the 62 and the 11. Here comes there's the 62, middle of the screen. The 11 is coming. Oh, yeah. Wow, that was a full send right there. Then the 44 gets a piece of that. That was from a long ways. So we'll slow things down. And I was just about to say that if the 90 car could catch a caution in the next couple of laps, he may be able to get up here and challenge for this win, starting super deep in this thing. He started 14th. He's not even the biggest mover of the race right now. Garrett Boyd had picked up 13 spots. There goes Dean Reynolds. And Dean Reynolds is going to go around. He's going to take the 79 onto pit road. But it's Scheider, Hannigan, Royer, Mueller, Strickler, Marshall, Schaff, Boyd, Boxell, and Westphal, the top 10. Larry Moody in 11th. Several cars in the work area. They're getting ready to come back out. They do not get a whole lot of time. Well, we're down to 10 to go. Not much time to fix the car. Got to get what you can get done. Several of them rolling back out. Ready for the green flag. 10 laps remaining. Now Royer can see the front.
Green.
Scheider with another good start. He, Hannigan, and Royer all get great runs. So did Mueller. Timed it up perfect as well. Strickler went to the bottom in 5th, and he's going to hang on to the spot in front of Marshall. I'm going to the front to watch this because Hannigan throws the slider. Doesn't get the spot, but he's close, and that just let Trevor Royer close right up on these guys. So did Mueller. So now Royer is going to have to kind of be a little bit and he got into Scheiderer right there, and they're going to go to the infield. We're not going to get a caution out of this. That is unfortunate. But it's going to open things up, and Hannigan is going to be absolutely gone. And now Royer and Marshall are going to battle for second and third here. Strickler's back in this podium hunt. So is Jay Schaff. Marshall to second. Royer trying to hang on to third. I think the 90 car might have a little bit of damage because Strickler rolled right by him easy. Jay Schaff working to the inside for fourth position. There's Garrett Boyd. You want to talk about hard charger. Garrett Boyd at this moment, if he doesn't pick up another spot, picked up 17 already. He finished last in his B main, started 22nd. He was working on a top 5 right there. Jake Boxell and Dean Reynolds look like they may have themselves a moment back here. Out of 3 and 4. Yep. And Dean Reynolds just went in the vomit comet. Man, he tumbled a bunch of times. So, we'll set the field up. Hannigan, Marshall, Schaff. Then Boyd is 4th, Royer 5th, Moody, Grimm. No, Moody, Westfall, Morano, Grimm. There's 4 cautions, and we have got a lot of cars either out of this thing or damaged. I don't feel like 4 cautions is a whole lot. Mason Hannigan was absolutely gone right there with all of the contact from behind with different drivers. So we're going to get a restart. I think we're going to have 4 to go here. That's what it looks like. 10 cars on the lead lap. And then 1, 2, 3 more off the lead lap that are out there making laps. Matt Grimm going to come back out as well. He'll be on the lead lap. He'll be 10th. As the green flag comes out, and he barely made it out of the infield before that happened. 4 to go. Hannigan with a fantastic start. Marshall hanging on to second. He went through the middle, and that opened up things for the 38. Here comes the slider in 3 and 4. Strickler going to go to second, at least for the time being. Jay Schaff had to check his big rundown. So he had nowhere to go right there. Hannigan is out to a second. Battle second, third, and fourth right now. 2 to go that time by. Larry Moody is in this thing. Up there in the 7th spot. Oh, the contact. Marshall and Strickler, and that's going to open the door for Schaff. He goes around the high side of Marshall, cuts to the inside on the white flag lap of Strickler. Mason Hannigan is going to win this thing going away. 2 1/4 seconds. We're watching the battle for second and third. Schaff sneaks by, takes second. Strickler grabs third. Marshall and Royer 4 and 5. Well, we'll see if the boys make their way to Discord. While we wait, we'll take a look at the results. Moody was 6, Boyd 7, Westfall 8, Morano 9, Collins in 10th. 11th was Grimm, Boxell 12th, Reynolds in 13th, Scheiderer 14th, Cottrell 15th, 16th was Gaines, Nicodemus in 17th, Thomas in 18th, Straczynski in 19th, Kuhn 20th, Silby 21st, and Ashton Mueller rounded out the field tonight. There are 2 of our guys. I don't know if we're going to get to see the third. We do. We get to see the third. We are looking for.
It's only out there.
We are looking for this one right here. Let's grab the driver of the 38. Brett Strickler, you got a copy.
I got you.
That was a pretty hard-fought battle all night long. You had the car rolling on the bottom early. When did the bottom actually go away and you noticed you had to go to the top?
It was right after that restart I took the lead. I knew the bottom was going to be limited, so I kind of just took it when I could get it. And then once I knew the track got top dominant, I wasn't going to be your guy, but I kind of hung in there. It's probably around that restart where I took the lead, and then JP just kind of blasted the top, and I was like, all right, time to get up.
Yeah, it looked like you were rolling pretty strong, and then all of a sudden there was just not much down there. Here at the very end, man, you're coming out of 4. You know that you got Carr close to you. Did you think he was close enough to snatch that spot?
Yeah, I just didn't use him up. I could have went the whole way out to the wall and not even given him a shot to get by me, but sitting there second, you're not winning the race. I'll take third. It's fine.
What an awesome run. We don't get to see a lot over here, but I told the fans when you show up, most of the time you show right out, and you did. You went right to the front, and then you end up coming home in third tonight, man. So great run. You got some shout-outs and some thank yous before we let you get out of here?
Yeah, I think it's on 2 for 2 on podiums here when I show up here, so I might have to do this a little more often. But yeah, thanks to my BMR guys, T22 guys. Dakota talked me into playing or racing again tonight. So without them, this wouldn't be any fun, and I wouldn't be doing it week after week.
All right, my man. Congrats on the run, and hopefully we'll see you back either next week for 410s or the following week for 360s.
Yeah, we'll see how the schedule works out. Obviously, daytime work schedule comes first, so do what I can.
All right, my man. Thank you very much.
Yep, thanks, Roger. Thanks for putting us on.
You bet. That is Brett Strickler. He finishes in third tonight. And now let's move on to the driver of the 3-car. We used to see him a lot when we were covering our midget series, and now we're getting to see him in the wing sprint car, and he snuck by and stole the second-place finish over here coming out of turn number 4. Mr. Schaff, that was a pucker moment, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure it was. We decided to slap the wing on tonight and then give it a shot. Turns out it was the right call. I mean, coming out of 4 there, that was it was really close. I knew we were probably gonna make some contact. I'm not sure if we did or not, but very tied up against the wall there coming out of 4. But that was a good race back to the line.
Yeah, it looked like guys were going forwards, going backwards. The track was moving all around. How was the racing surface tonight for all 30 laps?
It was good. I think the track really moved around a little bit. I think there towards the middle of the race, it wasn't so hard on the top. Beginning to middle, it was probably middle of the race. It was probably more towards the bottom, at least in 1 and 2. And then there towards the end, at least for me, it came to life up top. And I knew if those 2 cars in front of me there at the end weren't running the top, I was going to be able to get around them like I did there coming out of 4. But I just got a little bit of a luck on my side there for them to run that middle line and had to race them to the finish line, and luckily we came home with a second place finish.
Well, awesome run, man. Give me some shout outs, some thank yous. We'll let you head out and celebrate tonight.
Yeah, I want to thank Tim Sims, then Black Diamond, all them boys for helping us out, and then obviously my team over here at Rip the Lip Motorsports with Richie and all them. I appreciate them all.
All right, man. Congrats on the run. Thanks for chatting with us. Look forward to seeing you back next week.
Thank you. Have a good one.
That is Jay Schaff finishing in second, and now tonight, he's not the tropical depression. In fact, once he got back to the front, no one could catch the 22 car. Mason Hannigan, you're either a hero or a zero here at Charlotte, it looks like.
Hey, bud, easy. This place is a shithole, okay? I don't know what in the world we're doing with this racetrack.
It puts on a good race pretty much every time, really.
Well, sometimes. I'll give you credit there. It does sometimes.
Well, you're going to pick up the win tonight, and we didn't get to see you last night. I guess it was over at ADS for the finale on that deal. But Friday night,
old age.
Well,
I got tired.
Yeah. Okay. What are you? All of 16, 17 now?
Hey, buddy, flip that 6, pal.
Have you finally almost made it to 20 now? You're that close?
Oh, we're almost there. Yeah, we're close. We're about 9 months away.
Yeah, man, you're not that close. 9 months is a long time. I got to just say that.
No, it'll be here in a snap of a finger.
All right, my man. Well, an awesome run tonight, and you had a couple of battles. You lost the lead to Strickler on the bottom. What did you think when he flew by you on the bottom right there?
Yeah, I didn't know what to think. I don't know if I've ever had him pass me, so I was just kind of shocked. I was just like, well, he's fast. But I figured the bottom would go away with a little bit of time. Then I ran it. I mean, I was running in 3 and 4, but like I could make speed off of 4 early, and then it started to fade, and I wasn't as good. And then I went to the top, and he was good on the bottom, so he got around me, and then I mean on that restart I tried to bottom, and then that's when JP got around me, so I just jumped up instantly from there, and then JP was setting a really good pace, honestly, and then I don't think if it was for that caution, I might get back to him. Maybe as soon as the caution came out there with 10 to go or whatever, I kind of figured it out. But JP was, I mean, he was the second out at that point, and I was gonna have to run him down. And then the caution came out, and I felt like I was a little bit faster than him after the caution, and I slid him, and then I knew I had to be the one sliding him down into 3 and him sliding me into 1, just because I knew the exit of 2 it kind of shoves off the top of 2, so I figured if I could get the run off the 2, you know, and have me like slide him into 3, then I should be all right. And it worked out. I don't know what happened to him there. I think Trevor got into him when he was trying to cross underneath me that one time, but you know, other than that, it was a really good race, and JP was pretty faster. So I don't know, you know, if it wasn't for the caution, it's probably a whole different ball game, and I'm probably running second. He's probably winning it. So you know, it's just how it works sometimes, and cautions really don't help you in any way. So.
All right, man. Well, an awesome run nonetheless. You're going to pick up the win here in round number 3. Give me some shout-outs, some thank yous, and we'll go celebrate.
Yes, sir. Black Diamond Motorsports, as always. Ross Garenta, Velocity Race Designs. Roger here for broadcasting this bad boy and putting it on. And I want to have you do, you got to do some history work here. I want to see how many wins I have in this deal. Not just the 360s, but in 410s too.
Well, Scott and I have started trying to compile that because I have all the results for the last 8 years. It's just going to take a little bit of time.
I went into the league today, and I was looking at past like seasons and all that stuff, and I was like, man, some of these seasons were stacked.
Yeah, we have got a lot of work to do, but Scott and I are trying to get together and get all of the winners, top 5s, top 10s, all of those things, podiums, and start compiling that. It's just going to take a really long time because I have not been doing my job for a while.
Well, and you're a little bit older on the age scale there, so it's going to take you a little bit longer to type it in, you know what I mean?
Here we go. Well, congrats on the win, my man. I know it's a long number, probably getting close to triple digits around here as long as we've been going at it. So we'll let you know as soon as we have them all together. Oh, yeah, you've won a lot of races here.
No shot. I'm probably
I'll bet you got 25 wins.
I'd say 30, 40.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet you got at least 25 or 30 wins.
Yeah, 30. I'm going to say 30. I'm going to say 34.
Yeah, you and Eiler, and oh man, I'm trying to think of who else won a lot of races here.
Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler won a lot of, so there's going to be 3 or 4 of you that are going to be up there. Absolutely. Pretty good double digits for sure. Josh, tons of wins for Josh. I mean, he's a multi-time champion. Trevor Royer, multi-time, but I promise you, he won a couple of seasons. He didn't win a single race and still won the title.
Well, it ain't about winning races.
There you go.
For me it is, though. If I don't win, then I'm pissed.
All right, my man. Well, thanks for chatting with us. I can't wait to see you back here next week in the 410s, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. A real race car there.
All right, man. Thanks.
See ya.
See ya. That's Mason Hannigan, the little hurricane. Man, I'll tell you what, that guy right there, he is 19 years old. He races in real life. He's becoming pretty handy with it. I got to see him at the Chili Bowl this year in the midget. I know he's going at least 360 racing. I don't know if he's doing much 410 racing or any at all this year, but I know they're talking about some 360 racing. He's got that thing getting ready to go, so we'll see some good results from him. But, every time he comes out, usually takes it to the front. Now, whether he wads it up and he finishes last or he wins, that's why I told him heroes or zeros, and he had to grief me right back. So a lot of fun. I want to thank all of you for being here. Without you, there's no reason for us to do this, and without all the great leagues giving us great racing like we saw all night long here tonight, there's nothing to cover. So pats on the backs and high fives everywhere for all of that. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern, ERA group. Hopefully we'll see you then, and if we don't, come back and see us as soon as you can. Peace and love to everybody. Keep the rough side facing down. It's got to stay dirty at all times.